Hello and welcome to the KOFISI Connect podcast, your source for a wealth of roundtable discussions in the workplace and business, as well as cultural news and trends from the diverse and dynamic continent of Africa. I'm your host, Richard Okenye, and today I'm very pleased to introduce Cyrus Kabiru, a visual artist based in Nairobi, Kenya, and currently exhibiting at the KOFISI Art Gallery. And I'm also alongside Wachira, gallery manager at KOFISI, leading our overall KOFISI art program. Welcome to the podcast, guys. Good morning to you, Cyrus, and good morning to you, Koi. How's the weather taking both of you?
Morning. The weather is cool. I think the weather we have now, you can control it because you can wear my jackets and all that. So, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. Welcome to the studio.
To the studio, yeah.
How's your morning?
My morning's good. The weather, as you said, is it's bearable. It's a bit wet, but we manage and we move on.
Manage.
Yes.
We'll survive.
Yes.
Right, Kabiru, welcome. I enjoyed the opening night of Echoes of Memory, which we'll get to later. To our viewers, this will have a mix of Kiswahili, English, Sheng. So get a translator next to you or an AI platform and learn every word of Swahili that might come out of this conversation. Cyrus, just maybe before we get into your works, your introduction to the world of art, maybe your background. Yeah, it's definitely somewhere in your childhood. How did that start out?
I started doing art when I was young. I never knew that I'm an artist. The society, they're the one who knew that I'm an artist. They used to call me Msanii. So in school, I used to have my own blank wall, whereby I was supposed to put something every Friday. And that's how I used to be. Like I used to draw, I used to use the books that I was supposed to put notes and all that. Instead of notes, I used to draw with pencils.
How early is this? Like 4 years?
Like 5 years, yeah. From 5 years.
And Cyrus, where was this? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in my village called Gekongoro. I grew up also in one of the slums in Nairobi. Mostly I don't like to tell people where I grew up because sometimes the place where I grew up swallow my creativity. So, a lot of people, they love telling people, oh, I grown up from Kibera or from Mathare, from blah, 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 so that they can fit in art industry. So I always feel proud when I say I grown up in Kongoro more than where also I grew up in Nairobi, whereby it's Korogocho. So when I say Korogocho and you see my work, you'll see
Korogocho.
You'll see Korogocho. You'll see
it overshadows your.
Yeah. So, because sometimes a lot of artists, they always love talking, which is good. They always love talking about such. They always go to that direction, which me I don't like, because my work is a bit sensitive. If you put such story for you to sell and all that, the story will swallow my creativity. And also Korogocho is big slum, so you'll see my area, you'll see trash. You'll see Korogocho in Kikuyu, in my language, means a lot of trash. A lot of trash. So that's why I prefer to say I grew up in Kongoro.
Kongoro.
So
Kongoro is in central Kenya.
Yeah. It's I think I'm the only person who reached on a level where I can talk about Gikunguru. I think it's never been anywhere. It's like Wamunyoro.
You're popularizing Gikunguru.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's in Maragua, Muranga. Location is Genda, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So the village is now Gikunguru village.
That's way inside a rural part of
very rural.
this country. Were there artists around you growing up? I imagine you saw in the village.
First of all, I never knew about artists. I used to think artist is the one who can do realistic. People used to call me Msanii, and I was like, no, I'm not yet there because I don't know how to paint or to draw anyone. And later they forced me. They were like, Cyrus, you're an artist. Because I used to do landscaping also. I used to paint cartoons on canvas. Basically, for the eyewear, I'm known by making the eyewear. For the eyewear, I grown up making with sticks, whereby a lot of people used to do that when they were young, making toys. And in my culture, when you go to another level, like we say when you go to high school, when you get circumcised, the thing that you used to do when you were a young boy, you're not allowed to do when you are big now. So I stopped making the eyewear when I joined the high school, because that was a childish kind of. And later I joined Kuona, blah, blah, blah. And I used to tell some of my friends, like Dennis, like, I make eyewears, but I do them siri chini ya maji. But I just do them for fun. And they used to tell me, like, Cyrus, bring them. Let people see what you do. And I was like, no, my worry is like people will think that I'm not yet grown up. So, and then people they didn't know that I used to make eyewear before.
Right.
But there's a story behind how I end up being on limelight with eyewear.
Right.
So for me, when I was young, also for me to fit with my brother, for me to hang around with my brothers, they used to tell me, if you want to hang around with us, you must have something that will make us
Accept you into this.
feel comfortable with you. Be creative more than us. So I used to make belts using wires, using mabati, because our house was just across the Dandora dam site. So I used to go and collect trash, make necklace, belts, shoes for them, and then they will allow me to hang around with them. So, and I never knew that that's art.
That's very surprising that you just are self-taught. Did they try to ship you to art school or at? And then why eyewear specifically? Because you've mentioned that a lot. I've not seen you with any glasses yourself.
For the eyewear, I think is because most of my work, I always get inspired by my dad. My dad used to have the eyewear when he was young, and he hung on a lorry. The glasses fall down. He was beaten, so he hit the glasses. So he never allowed us to have the eyewear. So he used to be like, because most of the time I used to admire having the eyewear, like the goggles. He used to be like, Cyrus, if you want to stay in my house, you make your own eyewear. I don't want to see the real one because they remind me the way I was beaten.
Wow.
So that's how I started making the eyewear.
Sisters.
Sisters.
Yeah.
I used to make, but not that serious, but he gave me permission to do what I love. Because he used to be very strict. He used to be, he even came to school and was like, Cyrus, I want to know why you are not performing well. And the teacher told my dad that the school I was studying is called Charity Student. You hear even the word is charity.
Yes.
Yeah, and also Ihumbu. I studied also in Ihumbu Primary School. That's my rural also. There was a time I studied in like a week. There was a time my dad felt like I'm a bit notorious, so he sent me to rural area. I went to a secondary school called Gadera Secondary School. I studied there for, I think, a week. So, yeah, so that's the journey of my...
But he did allow you to pursue your art.
Later he was like, Cyrus, if you want to survive in my house, maybe you make your own eyewear. So he gave me that chance of making, start now thinking outside the box. Again, my grandmother moved from where she used to stay, and she went to live in rural area, and I ended up having a house. So I converted the house to be a studio.
Oh, wow, okay.
And how old were you at this time?
I was like, I think I was in class 8.
Okay.
Converting a house to a studio in class 8 at this time. Wow.
Yeah.
So you were sure that this is exactly what you want to do?
No, I
at this
did.
point?
No,
At this time, not yet.
Not yet.
not yet.
Okay.
I didn't know even what I was doing.
Okay.
So, and I changed the house to be a studio. And basically, at the end, I end up buying that house.
From your grandmother?
Yeah, later on.
Okay.
And my dad used to feel like I'm lazy, I'm not working. My work is just to stay in the house, doing art. Oh, I need to work like other men, need to do something, blah, blah, blah. Even I was like, yeah, maybe my dad is making a point, but for me, I feel I need to do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cyrus, so when did that shift happen from not knowing you're doing art to actually art? Like the time you realized I'm an artist, and then maybe you can add on as to how you found yourself at Kuwana Trust.
First, like in school, all teachers, the whole school, I used to draw. Like if they're teaching like agriculture,
Yes.
and a teacher want to draw like a wheelbarrow, I'll be in charge from drawing all those. So you'll get a teacher calling me from like if for instance in high school, a teacher will call me from Form 3 to draw in Form 1. And I used to feel like I used to enjoy it. Basically in high school, I started my own art lessons. I used to teach art, not teaching as art. I used to judge, like, if it's me, I will put this eye here, I'll put the hand like this, blah, blah, blah. And I started having a huge followers. But most of the followers, most of them, they were criminals. So
So they'd steal your art.
So the school started treating me like a leader of the gang, kind of.
Okay.
And I didn't know why, but that's how they used to treat me mostly. And in high school, basically, I used to trade. You do my homework.
Then you do the art.
I give you an artwork.
Oh, okay.
You do my exam. I think I did the last exam. In high school, I didn't.
Sit these other
No.
exams in between.
No.
Wow.
You sat your last exam,
I did the final one.
the KCSE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I used to trade, you do my homework, my exam, I'll paint 50 cents for you, I'll paint you if you want, I'll draw whatever you want. So that's how I survived in high school.
Okay.
Basically, I studied because I wanted to make my parents happy, not to make myself happy.
Okay.
I end up finishing the high school with 3 exercise book with all subject there and
Your drawings and everything.
drawings. Yeah. So I used to draw from the back.
And then write notes from
From the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, because in high school, most of us are thinking, what am I going to do after this to make money? What am I going to do this after this to have a life? Are you also thinking at this point that maybe I have found out the thing that will make me money? Not yet.
Not yet. I think
You don't, at that point, you're not worried at all about your future, your success, your...
what I used to say, I was like, the time I'll finish the school, now I'll have a freedom to draw, to sculpt. But I never knew that what I was doing was art. Basically, my first artwork I sold to my mom's brother, my uncle. I think I was in Form 1. I sold and I used to run away from him because I never thought I can sell art. And I used to feel like I'm not an artist.
You scammed him.
Yeah.
You thought you scammed him.
I'm not yet an artist and I've sold. How? So I used to run away from him. He also used to run away from me because he bought it very cheap.
He thought he scammed you too.
That is so funny.
You are more like scammers, both of us.
Yes.
So, yeah, so that's the journey. And later, after high school, when I was in Form 3, my brother, he's a theater technician. So he started supplying me with brushes, canvases, and all those. And he started being more supportive. And later, when he was the time he wanted to put things at the rooftop, with the where he can't reach, he used to call me and help him to put to do wiring and all that for theater, to put lights and all that. So I became his assistant part-time. And so that's how now I started knowing about Kuona Trust. Because Go Down, they used to have a theater. So my brother used to go down, Leon's, Kenya Theater. So I started meeting some artists. And sometimes I was like, oh, I can even paint better than this person. And people, they are calling them artists. So I'm an artist also. So Kuona, they started recruiting some new artists. I think they wanted 1 or 2 artists. So people sent their application. But for me, and you were supposed to send through digital kind of a soft copy. Me, I always work with manual. So I wrote the letter. I carried all my best
Pieces.
artworks, and I went there. I dropped them there. They saw my work, and they told me to wait. And later, that's how I got the studio at Kuona.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember when. I think it was 2010. I don't know, around 2010 there. So after that, I didn't have transport because now I moved from Korogocho to Dandora. I didn't have transport from Dandora to the Go Down Art Center. So I used to walk like every day. I used to hang on a train. I was one of those people who used to hang on a train.
Then drop as it's moving.
Yeah. And that's how I survived for 3 years, I think. So, yeah, I didn't have money to buy materials like canvas, paints, and all that. So I used to work on a dump, kuona garbage, like kuona dump site. Because I don't have materials, and I want to show them that I'm working. Because I fear they might chase me because I'm not working. So later, like, I started like recycling all the trash they have. Even I finished their trash because I made lions, I made elephant, huge size. And yeah, that's how I joined Kuona.
Koi,
Yes.
just to hear your POV, the first time you saw his work, when was that and what was your reaction like?
Okay, I think he must have joined Kuona way before 2010 because when I joined Kuona in the Kuona office as art administrator, which was 2010, it was mid-2010. I remember going around and I remember Cyrus was working on a sculpture, and this was when he was collecting Tusker bottle tops and creating sculptures out of that. And there were cisternas, the eyewear hanging there, but they were still in the simple state. They were not as elaborate as they are now. Yeah. And I remember later on we conversed, and I was like, "Oh, Cyrus, I like your glasses. Can I have one?" He's like, "Oh, you must buy one." And I was like, "How much?" And he told me 5,000. And I was like, "Oh man!" I was like super broke then, and I was like, "I can't afford." And I think that is one of my biggest regrets that I did not purchase
While it was still affordable.
when it was looking back, it was very, very affordable. But that's the recollection. That was my first interaction with Cyrus. But we would sit and we'd talk, and I remember there were conversations where he would express, like every artist would express his frustrations as to how his career was going. And I think, Cyrus, my question is, when did you feel like you had made it as an artist?
That big break.
That big break.
I think I'm not yet now.
Wow,
I'm
really?
still. I'm not yet there. The place I want.
Okay.
But no, that moment where you felt
This is it.
that you are actually,
I'm
don't
going
say
somewhere. I'm going somewhere.
yes, like you're moving from this point, and your work is expanding, your practice is expanding, you're
You're
getting,
sure of it.
you're a bit more exactly, you're a bit more sure of it.
First of all, I think when I joined Kuona, I got a chance to go to Belgium. Someone invited me, and I was like, "Belgium? How? Why?" Because of making.
Because
So-
of these bottle tops.
Yeah.
Bottle tops.
Yeah, and also my work was mostly not to sell. My work was mostly to express something which I don't know. But my work was more like, I didn't like starting making art to make money. Even up to now, I always make what makes me feel happy. And then it's like my hobby. My hobby makes money. And I remember my first eyewear I sold, there were some people visited Kuona, and a friend of mine came to my house. She was like, "I want to see how you live in your house." And when they came, they saw some of my eyewears. because I used to hang them in my house. And they were like, we want these. And I told them, like, no, it's just eyewears I'm just making.
For fun.
And they were like, this art, I want to buy. I was like, no, they're just mine. And they were like, we must. And they bought each for 5,000 Kenya shillings. And I was like, how come they bought my eyewears? And that's the time I came and I start explaining to some of my artists, my fellow artists, like, I used to have my favorite eyewears, though I keep making them when I go home, because I used to make them at night. Also, like where I grown up, we used to have 2 rooms. One room is for my mom and my dad. The other room was our bedroom. It's our kitchen. It's our table room. And so I used to let them sleep, and I will work at night. And that's how I used to make the eyewear. If I walk around, I see something attracting my eye, I'll go and fix it. I'll put it in my eyewear instead of throwing it away. So when they bought my eyewear, was like, I felt like I've lost something. So for the breakthrough, I think I was invited by TED Talk. I was invited, that was 2013. 2012, I got an invitation to do a talk.
A TED Talk.
TED Talk.
Wow.
I refused to. And 2013, they were like, Cyrus, you must come and talk, tell people, explain to people, blah, blah, blah. And I told them, no, not before TED Talk. A guy came to my studio. He's a Dutch guy. His name is De Jong. And he was like, Cyrus, I love what you do, and I would love you to visit Netherlands. And I told him, like, I don't travel. I'm always happy being in Kenya. And the guy was like, no, I want you to visit. Let me know what you want so that you can travel to Netherlands. So I was like, I wrote down what I wanted. I told him, first he paid the air ticket. Then he paid a nice house, not a hotel, for me to stay. And then he need to give me a per diem, a small amount of money, which was $10,000.
That's quite a small amount.
No, all this is because I wanted, like, to make it difficult, for him. And he organized an exhibition in a nice gallery. And the guy was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll do all that. When do you want the payment? Do you have an account?
Wow.
And I started like shaking, like, how? And after that, I was invited by TED. I started like recalling, like, I've been to these places. That means my work is now moving. So, because I used to work with series. I used to do series of, the time Koi was, like the artwork that Koi talking about the bottle tops, that was a series as I was working called The Street Musician. I used to make the street musician with bottle tops. And they were beautiful.
They were.
Yeah, and a lot of energy. So that's how I started, like, even traveling. Up to now, I don't know even how to book the ticket. I've been more than 40 countries. I don't know even how to pay to book the hotel.
Your work just does it for you.
And for me to travel, you need to pay me to travel. So that's how I put, that's the foundation I created.
Yeah.
And it goes well. And also I don't apply for anything. If you feel I'm fitted to that, do it on my behalf.
Select me.
I think my only application I did, was
to get into Kuona.
No, the one you did the other day.
Oh yes. But it was an invite.
They
invited you to
the museum invited me
to fill an application.
They invited me for a residence. But they wanted me to apply. I told them I don't do application.
Don't do that here.
And they were like, no, we just want a sentence to show that, just to follow the procedure and all that. And Koi helped me on that. That was my first. Even they were like, oh, Cyrus, you're a genius.
Of course.
He's very professional.
Koi, the ghostwriter. Okay,
So,
nice.
And that's the time I knew. Like, the worst part in art industry is the time you start knowing that you are getting big. If you recognize, if you feel like you are getting big, that's the end of you. You're the one who's supposed to tell me or to remind me that I'm big. I'm not supposed to give myself, I'm not supposed to have that title by myself, like, oh, I'm big artist and all that. Because the moment you swallow, that's the problem we have with local Kenyan artists. Someone will travel 2 places, 3 places, to 2, 3 countries and feel like, oh, I'm
international
at the top.
artist.
Yeah, oh, you can't tell me this. Me, I've been more than 40 countries and I don't tell people. I don't share with a lot of people because, again, if I share with some artists, but I choose who to share with. If I start sharing with more like artists, sometimes they will feel like disappointed. Oh, I'm not moving. I'm not like you are.
I'm not like as good as Kabiru.
Yeah. So I always put myself to that artist level. If you're an upcoming, I always behave like I'm an upcoming. So that's why even I don't do talks. Because for me, I feel presentation, sometimes I feel like I'm putting myself
up there
somewhere.
On a pedestal somewhere.
Yeah. That's
Look
why
up to me up here.
if you want to hear about my story, come, we talk one-on-one. But doing presentation of my work or talking about me, all my work, again, I'll talk about myself when I talk about my work. And sometimes I feel like it's like I'm behaving, I'm big. Yeah.
Right.
And the moment you notice you're big on what you're doing, that's the end of you.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the current exhibition happening at KOFISI, Kaskazi, Echoes of Memory, is, I think, your first since you've been exhibiting across Europe and all the countries you've been, or is it the first time back?
Yeah, this is my first public exhibition.
Okay.
I did one, but was private, 3 years ago in the Giraffe Manor. So this is the first public exhibition. Basically, I wanted to show it because I wanted everyone to see my work. And also to see my work on a bigger space. I've learning something now from the exhibition, how like the size, displaying, as a myself taught artist. I'm learning. Even the exhibition, the work I'm showing, is something I'm learning also.
Okay.
I'm also experimenting something to the journey of my art. I think the second exhibition I'll do in the same place,
Nice. Love that.
even if it will take 5 years,
Yeah.
it will be totally different than the one now here.
Okay.
I think it's the only. I think I'm happy from the feedback from the people because my work is more. I always see my work in foreign galleries, which also good, but I never show my work locally on a bigger space.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You really love home, and we'll talk a bit about that. It's a theme I hear across loving home and humility, which is probably what has given you all that success.
Yeah.
You haven't chased it. I think it's just looked for you, and you've constantly refused it when it's finding you in your doorstep. I think it's something I should try and do myself for my career.
Yeah. I think if you want to be successful, don't swallow that. Let people say you're the best, you're good. Let people say, but you don't say.
Okay.
The moment you will notice you're big, that's your downfall. Yeah.
It's a good lesson.
Well, how did you manage to convince Cyrus? He doesn't give talks, doesn't do presentations, he's never done a public exhibition. How do you bring him to Kaskazi and to this podcast before he says we scrap it?
I think it was a series of coincidences where I was looking to have the first solo exhibition at KOFISI Gallery, but I was also unsure as to what artist. And every time I would think about it, my mind would go back to Cyrus, but I was also not sure how he would receive that. Yeah? And I didn't know how busy he was. So I called him, I invited him, showed him the space. And the space can be quite intimidating in the size of it. And I think he agreed. Like I really did a lot of talking that day, and Georgia joined me, and we really did a lot of talking towards him. And he told me, Koi, I will only agree if you come to my studio. And the following day,
You were there.
we went. Made the journey to his studio. We saw the work. We had a conversation, and I was so honored that he agreed because, like he said, it is the first public exhibition he's had locally, and I think when Cyrus was working in a communal space in Kuona where people had access to him, would walk in. It was very easy. You just walk into to Kuona Trust, and you'd see his work and you'd talk to him. Then he disappeared. Like we didn't have access to his work, and he was traveling, and we would see his work on the internet, and we followed him. We followed his career, and it has been such a long time. His contemporaries are seeing his work, and artists are, and like it's. I think the most important feedback for an artist is from his contemporaries, his peers, his fellow artists, to be able I think it's like I said, the best feedback an artist can get. It's also a bit more honest. Yeah. And this exhibition, as much as it's very important to KOFISI and the gallery, it is very important for the art scene and the art industry and for every artist. And it is one of those must-see exhibitions.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
And also, I think the artwork that I'm showing my worry was like a lot of people, they always appreciate paintings or like sculptures, the fine one. But mine is more complicated. You get mine is more like combination of those trashes, whereby people, instead of people seeing the creativity, they'll see materials. You'll get someone talking about, this just spoon, this just wires. But people, they're now appreciating. People, they're now like my happiness mostly is like to see the way the world, they're full of my arts, which is totally different with the normal artwork that we always exhibit. I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe I can interject. Yeah. So I think and correct me if I'm wrong, what he's trying to say is when you go into a gallery, you see like the very beautiful sculptures, nicely polished wood or stone, or you go and you see photography, nicely framed, and then, or paintings, yeah, like we have seen in our offices, yeah, here at KOFISI. But his work is different in that it's an assemblage of very different things that we have discarded from our homes. Yeah. So there's also that nervousness in terms of how will people receive this work that is not conventional art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, yeah, speaking about that reception, as someone who's been in galleries, elsewhere, sometimes artists get to that level and feel like they have to appeal rather than allowing us to consume your art as is, or as collectors to consume your art as is. They feel they need to appeal or make it feel a certain way. I'm sure you haven't felt that pull clearly from how you're speaking, but if you have, you can tell us. And how should other artists handle it, especially Kenyan artists?
Repeat again, sorry.
How should they handle that pressure where they get to a level they need to make their art feel a certain way? Because I feel you haven't personally done that. Your art still speaks for itself. It's from you. You've still stuck to your method. But there's some who might get to a space as big as that gallery space and be like, okay, there's going to be this number of people here, so I need to start changing the way my art looks like. Do you have advice for them on how to handle that pressure?
First, me, I don't advise. I don't like to advise because if you follow my advice, you might get lost
And blame
and you will start blaming me. What I do, I talk too much. You choose what can help you. For me, I feel like to reach where you want to reach, not where I am, to reach where an artist want to reach, first is to have something beautiful, something attractive, something, let people love your work. Again, don't focus with making money. Money will come. Yeah, I stayed for 5 years without selling when I joined Kuona. And I did, but I was not doing art to make money. That was my hobby. And later, I started making my own money through my hobby. So don't rush to do art for money. Make something that you'll be happy. If you'll get happy, I'll be happy. That's what I believe. I believe on like, if I make something and feel happy, I'm sure even you'll be happy. If I make something and I feel not comfortable with it, I always hide it because I don't want you to feel that. Basically, that's how I know I finished the artwork. When I start making an artwork, for me to finish the artwork, it's like the connection between me and the artwork. Yeah. If I feel this now enough,
that's enough.
Yeah. There's an artwork I can work for a month. There's an artwork I can do in a day.
Depending on where your connection will arrive at.
And I can even make an artwork even a year just to find that connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question to both of you. I don't know if you wanted to add something.
Yes, I wanted to add, because you were speaking on the authenticity of an artist and the artwork. And I always say that as long as you're true to yourself, like you say, you're true to yourself. And there's always the pressure to conform, to make that money, to chase it. But as long as you're putting in your hours as an artist to refine your skill, to polish up yourself as an artist, and you are very authentic to your voice, I think you will reach where Cyrus is and surpass him. Yeah, because what I truly love about Cyrus's work is that, yes, it's based off discarded items. I don't want to call it trash. It's just things that maybe we don't. But when you look at it, you connect with it on a nostalgic kind of way. Like, oh, look at this pencil. Yeah, I used it in school. Oh, I had a pencil like this in school. Oh, I had this lamp. Or there's something. Oh, look at this tap. We had one like this at home. Or this radio. Oh my God, I remember listening to this. So there's that connection. So if you as an artist are able to get people connected to your work, then everything else tends to fall in. And that's what the artist's voice is. Once as an artist you find your voice, and this is across all platforms. It could be music, it could be film, it could be photography. Once you find that voice of yours, then that connection with your audience remains true, and everything else falls into place.
Naturally into place. Yeah, for sure. Art spaces are growing now more than before. I'm thinking back then to even get quite some visibility, or for consumers to get to see your work. There was the groups like you mentioned, Kuona, and others around that time. How would you compare the access back then and now? Is this still a problem? This is to both of you because you're actively in this space. Ko, you're running the art program here. You're very in touch with those conversations. Does it now, do people already know about art? Is the space growing? Is there more access? How do we get to Cyrus now? He's back. Are we able to see his work more often now as compared to back, when you started out? Maybe Ko, you can go first.
Okay. Has the space grown? Yes. Has the access shifted? Yes. Right? Because let me just talk to when I started, like maybe 2010. Yeah. The internet was huge then, but we're talking about like social media. The Facebook was big. Then came Instagram. So now there's access to artists is a bit easier, and we see a lot of art to it. And it has increased the audience. The audience base has increased. In terms of spaces for artists to show, galleries have come and gone. Collectives and spaces like Kuona, they've changed in how they function. Yeah. And the space is still evolving. Okay. Yeah. So what was there when Cyrus joined in, when I joined in, is very different. But whether it's different good or different bad, we're still trying to assess that. But it is different, and art can never be stagnant.
Okay.
Yes. But with the spaces like the KOFISI gallery, it is a beautiful addition to the space because it's an extra gallery, and it's a beautiful space to show. So I think that is a good addition to it, and any new addition is always welcome into the space.
Yeah, for me, I feel like we have more spaces, but not enough. If you compare, because I always go to South Africa most of the time. If you compare South Africa and Kenya, I think we have a long way to go. If you compare Nigeria, because you'll get each block in Cape Town or Joburg, they have an art space. Basically, for the last few years, Westlands changed. Now the art is moving now to Westlands.
Westlands, yeah.
I think we have now like 4 or 5 places, which I like. We are now having like nice places to show, but we need to have more. We need to educate also the society, the community, people like you, the value of art. Especially like on buying art. Before you buy art, you want to buy a car. After a car, you want to buy a land, you want to build. So before you reach to a point where you want to buy an artwork, you won't manage, you won't see the value of the artwork. We need to educate people also to how the value of having an artwork. You can buy an artwork from me, and you can use that artwork to build the house if you want when the time comes. Because art always have gained value every time. So we need to focus, we need to think. If you see our generation now, which is millennium maybe, most of them, they focus on driving nice cars. They focus on having nice place as the end. And at the end, they will hang calendars in their house. And they will explain to you how they got that calendar from somewhere in Malaysia. You know, imagine using your energy talking about
Something
trash that you got from Malaysia. And we have, I'm not trashing
anyone else.
But we need to have that culture of talking about Kenyan creativity. Yeah, imagine visiting your house and see an artwork of Dennis Moragori.
Yes.
You explain to me, Dennis, this is what he do, blah, blah, blah. That's what we need to hear. Because we have that issue. Even my parents, they'll go to Mombasa, they'll come with a small craft. They got it somewhere.
Randomly.
Yeah, and they're proud. They'll talk about it the whole year. But they can't talk about my work, the journey, and all that. So we need to go to that level of, it's our work, like as an artist, to educate people. Just to talk about our creativity, about our culture, mostly. Like, because I feel like creativity is our culture also.
It is.
So we need to educate them and show them. Like in my mom's house, they have calendars. When you get birth, they will buy a calendar. So when you visit, they'll tell you, "Oh, this calendar, I bought it.
I got it when Cyrus was born."
Imagine, that's a lot of energy talking about calendar. All those photos people use always. You saw like there was a wedding where Ruto gave some guys a present of a print of those AI print.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to imagine that the president doing that. We have a long way to go. If our president is
giving out AI art as gifts.
Yeah, what about my dad?
Your sister?
Yeah. So that's why, like, I love showing my work with KOFISI, and I would like to talk to Koi, like, whoever visits to see the artwork need to learn something.
Yeah.
We need to educate them. We
Yes.
need to tell them, this is us. This art. This.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a big part of.
So I think we need to educate people.
Yeah.
We need to, but the young generation, they are now valuing art.
Yes, we are. I'm one of them.
Especially even the Gen Z.
Yes,
they've.
They're very switched on with
if
art.
they continue with that pace, creativity will be on safe hands.
Okay.
Because they value creativity
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Koi, will I be correct to assume that this is what the art program is doing at KOFISI, even seeing it on the hallways and all that? Is it trying also to educate people at the workplace on, art, the value?
Yes, the importance of art. And we know art has very many functions, and I talked about it previously, where it's a conversation starter. Some of it makes you're feeling stressed, and you might see a piece of artwork and feel good. You might see one and get nostalgic, and it has all these functions in society. But I think he raised a very important point where he said that it is by far one of the assets in an office that increases in value. Yeah. So when you look at this room, there's a piece of artwork here. Yeah. It's the only one that's appreciating value. The mics depreciate, the table depreciate, the glasses will break. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
that the chairs will get a bit creaky.
Yeah.
You get, but the artwork is the only thing that increases in value. And when people start looking at it that way, then they begin to appreciate it more. And there's always stories. Yeah? Like my dad has this painting he got from his workplace, and it's a beautiful painting. This lady with her children and the basket of, and it's very happy. And he likes to tell people how he got it. And I'm always tasked to finding who the artist is. And if Cyrus came in, and even Dennis Muragori came in and he was asked, do you know who that artist is? Because he didn't have that record of it. And he's like, I got it from my workplace in this year. And so art is very, like the conversations around art is so important, but also that value of art. Yeah. So there's the sentimental value, there's that economic value. And that is what Sarah's saying, we need to talk more about it.
The bit I love the most myself, I think, that I have realized now is a piece of art could carry infinite stories.
Yes.
Because that radio, what it means to me when I see it, is my grandfather had that radio. So I have that story carried in that one piece. Someone else will come and remember the one time they broke their parents' radio and they were beaten up, and that's their own story. Someone else will be like, this is a spoon, and I remember I grew up with no spoons, and, it's taking me there. So it's beautiful to see the value even in the story that it carries. Like, this carries my story. I'll always remember this piece of artwork when I see it because it carries my story here, this podcast room. Yes. The artist has his own version. He's not even aware of all these other versions that we have, and that's a lot of value.
And that speaks to how our background, our upbringing, our cultural context helps us interpret or appreciate art. Yeah. So anyone who sees this, for you, it's your journey in this podcast room.
Yes.
You'll remember every conversation you had here. Even if we take it out of here and I take it out of here and I move it elsewhere, you might be upset. Yeah. You're like, my favorite, my painting. But you'll always remember that journey. It's you've been with it. Yeah. And that's so how I look at Cyrus's work is very different from how you look at Cyrus's work. Yes. Yeah. For you, the radio also is your career, your education, you get. Yes. So our background always informs how we receive artwork.
That's why we should treasure our own art, and it carries our stories.
Yes, let's buy more art and keep it at home.
Yeah, and also art. You see, like this artwork is making the space very lively. Like it
changes it. Yeah. Yes, it brightens.
Imagine this room without this artwork.
Yes.
It wasn't.
And that's the beauty about the KOFISI offices, where you walk around, there's always art to look at.
Yeah, that's why I like KOFISI. They have beautiful artworks. And I feel like corporates, they need to support artists. Instead of hanging photos of you somewhere for, how do you call them? The benchmarking. Benchmarking, the photo that you went to for benchmarking
in
somewhere.
Singapore.
Those nonsense. The photos that you met president, you met I don't know who.
Yes.
I think it's good, but we need to change. We need to support artists. Make sure your office have something making you smile.
Yes.
Especially arts. The photo will make you smile also, but the photo will see it that day and finish. You'll see it in one day. You won't see the detail. You don't have the details.
Yes.
But this one you'll see it has details. You can stay here for an year.
Yeah.
And we will communicate with artwork every day.
Every day, for sure. I've seen this artwork here since I joined KOFISI, and
every day
is new.
You will see something new.
Yeah, for sure.
So, again, people, they know me on making eyewear, but I do other art. I do bicycles. I do radios.
Helmets.
Helmets, macadamia. And most of them, they are more inspired by my dad. For the radio, my grandfather used to have the radio in the village. And the villagers used to come to listen, the BBC, to my grandfather's house. He also used to have that kinanda, the accordion. So you'll get like three village meeting to my grandfather's house, just to listen and to dance.
Yeah.
And I end up having the radios, but the radio didn't have the FM. And the time I got the radio, I used to have the phone. So, and I end up having the radio from my dad. The same with the bicycle. My dad used to do bicycle business with bicycle. He used to sell things with bicycle and all that. I was in charge of cleaning the bicycle. And imagine living in Korogocho, sewage all over, and I'm in charge of cleaning it every day. Even he made me to hate the bicycle. Later, he ended up giving me the bicycle. I didn't know what to do with the bicycle. I changed the bicycle. Later, I realized that the Chinese motorbike, they're now taking over where bicycles used to be. And people started selling the bicycles to the scrap dealers. So I decided to collect them and redo them and give them another chance. So, yeah.
That's how your journey has been. Like, we've had 1 hour into this podcast.
Wow.
And I feel like I have 10 more things I want to talk about. Probably we'll get another chance. Hopefully Cyrus will still be willing to have a conversation, and then we can discuss much more. I love that we've been here with Koi as well, at least to set context. I imagine if I was here with Kabiru, I think ngekuwa na mlima, so I'm really happy. I'm really happy you are here as my antidote. For those who are listening, you can still catch the exhibition, Echoes of Memory, happening at KOFISI Kaskazi, 7th floor. It's a public exhibition happening during service hours on weekdays, and then I think Saturday and Sunday, closing by midday there. So please do reach out if you'd like to come and check it out before it's taken down, I think mid this month or towards the end of the month. Yeah. Okay. Any final words before I close it up? Koi, Cyrus?
Echoes of the Memories. Echoes of the Memory is it's like the journey of my work. So come see, you might learn something. Just that.
All right. Koi?
Wow, it's been an interesting hour.
Yeah.
And thank you, Cyrus, for allowing us to have your exhibition, for allowing us to engage with your work. It has been an honor, not only to myself, but I think to KOFISI, to the members, to the staff. We've really, really enjoyed having your exhibition in our premises. Yeah. And like Richard said, the exhibition is still on and everybody is welcome to come and see it.
Right. And it's acting as a really great backdrop for a fashion show that is happening this week. By the time this podcast is out, I think the show will have already happened. But yeah, it's again the value of art. It serves so many purposes, including that fashion show. My name is Richard Okenye. I've enjoyed doing this. This has been the KOFISI Connect podcast. I hope you love it, and I'll see you or hear from you in the next episode.